Final Wars Godzilla, the Earth's deadliest weapon and saviour of humanity. Monsterverse Godzilla, the king of the monsters and enforcer of balance. These two Godzillas are constantly compared to each other in versus debates, but instead of straight up analysing this fight, I'll be putting these two in each other's universe. Now, another Godzilla guy did this for Heisei and Monsterverse, and credit him for this idea, but I'm doing it with Final Wars Godzilla instead, since he doesn't get the respect he deserves. He is called Fodder Wars and City Block Level. I heavily disagree with these outright dumb quote-unquote statements. Today, Final Wars will be entering the Monsterverse and facing these kaiju in this order: Skullcrawler, Warbat, Kraken, Nakika, Scylla, Behemoth, Methuselah, Tiamat, the male and female Muto, Mothra, Rodan, Amhuluk, Kong, Kamazots, Shinomura, Muto Prime, Mechagodzilla, and Ghidorah. Starting with the Skullcrawler, he gets one shot. Moving on. Same goes for the Warbat, he gets one shot. I don't really think these are controversial, I mean, they're fodder kaiju. Kraken, well, in the water she could do something, but I mean, she has no durability, so Final Wars also one shots. And the beam isn't even affected by water because he beamed Hedorah and Ebra out of the water in the movie, so yeah, one shot. Nakiko got caught by a net, so I don't think I need to explain why she loses easily. Scylla would do a lot better than most other kaiju so far, but still gets beaten easily. Scylla is basically Final Wars Kumonga. She is stronger than Final Wars Kumonga, but she's slower and less agile against Final Wars Godzilla, and, well, being less agile and slower is going to negatively affect you. Final Wars would win with low difficulty. Behemoth is incredibly slow and has no agility. His tusk would give Final Wars a decent challenge, but Final Wars still wins with low difficulty. Same goes for Methuselah. He's just Behemoth, but mountain and smaller tusks, so if anything, Final Wars would do better in that fight. Tiamat would be a decent challenge for Final Wars underwater, but since his beam isn't affected by water, Final Wars would probably mid-diff. The male and female Muto, you may think they would do pretty well, but no. Final Wars took on 3 kaiju at once with ease. Final Wars easily beats the hideous lovers. Mothra would be able to outmaneuver Final Wars, but she would get one shot by his atomic breath, and Final Wars did fight Kamakurus, who could fly almost as fast. Final Wars would easily beat Mothra. Rodan, he may be more durable than Mothra, but is still going to be easily killed in a melee match, just because Rodan doesn't have great melee, and, I mean, Final Wars is amazing melee. Amhuluk would be a decent challenge if he had good durability. Kong would be a decent challenge, but again, durability, his lack of it against Satanas' beam, means that Kong, even with his axe, would lose. Final Wars wins with mid-difficulty against these kaiju. Same goes for Kamazots, since him and Kong are even. Shinomura is similar to Amhuluk, but stronger. However, Shinomura, she can evolve and keep on evolving, but Final Wars will still be able to kill her with a few shots of atomic breath, so it's not even fair. Now, Muto Prime would give Godzilla a good fight due to her insane strength, but Final Wars is way quicker, more agile, and has a very powerful beam. Muto Prime would give Final Wars Godzilla a good fight, but Final Wars would win, mostly with high difficulty. Now, Mechagodzilla would provide Final Wars with a great challenge, and, well, we're actually going to analyze this one. The factors we'll be covering are going to be mostly, the basic factors of a fight, really. Strength. Both kaiju were able to throw around heavy kaiju, but since Final Wars was able to throw Kaiser Ghidorah, who weighs 100,000 tons, into the sky, Mechagodzilla could push around the 99,000-ton Godzilla, but Final Wars has the more impressive feat here. He wins. Durability also goes to Final Wars, since he took no visible damage in his movie. IQ goes to Mecha. He's a supercomputer. Battle IQ goes to Final Wars, he fought more kaijus. Speed goes to Mechagodzilla due to his jet propulsors. Agility goes to Final Wars. This is debatable, but since he can jump very high into the air and fight 3 very agile kaiju at once, I believe he'd win agility. Abilities goes to Mecha, no question. He also gets long range due to his weapons. Experience of any kind goes to Final Wars. He is way older than Mecha and has fought a bunch of kaiju. And so does stamina. I mean, he fought like a bunch of kaijus in like 14 hours and kept on going. And yeah, if we add up the points, Final Wars would win with high difficulty. But now Final Wars will face the devil with 3 heads, Monster Zero. Now, this is going to be one of Final Wars' hardest fights ever. But can he win? Well, we're going to cover the same things we did last time, starting with strength, which again goes to Final Wars since he lifted the heavier kaiju. I'm not saying Monster Zero couldn't lift Kaiser Ghidorah, he probably could, but again, he didn't, so yeah. Durability goes to Final Wars. Monster Zero doesn't have the best durability. His head got ripped off by Godzilla, which is, yeah, and he wasn't the most durable, being clearly affected by basic missiles, so yeah. IQ goes to MZ. 3 heads, 3 brains, telepathically, yeah. I don't need to explain that one. And Battle IQ goes to Final Wars. He fought way more kaiju. Ghidorah only really fought Godzilla and Mothra a long time ago, and then would fight Godzilla, Mothra, and briefly Rodan again, whereas Final Wars fought a bunch of kaiju. Speed goes to Monster Zero. Agility goes to Final Wars. You may think that, oh, but Ghidorah's heads are incredibly agile. Well, yeah, but his body is incredibly unagile, and Final Wars is just more agile overall. Monster Zero has way more abilities and general experience. He's a lot older than Final Wars. But Final Wars has better long range. If you know, you know. If that not, I will explain. Basically, the Exilium mothership in Final Wars, we don't know its official weight, but if you do the maths, it probably weighs around 1 million tons. And when Final Wars beams it, it visibly moves, meaning his beam can push things that weigh at least 1 million tons. That's my justification for that. It's not completely, the Exilium mothership could weigh way less, but doing the maths, that's probably what it weighs. Battle experience and stamina both go to Final Wars. I mean, he fought way more kaiju, and he can fight for very long. And in conclusion, Final Wars would win with extreme difficulty against Monster Zero. So, in conclusion, Final Wars would extreme diff this universe, and it would be very hard, but he would win, and can indeed become the new King of the Titans. Next time we'll be covering Legendary Godzilla in the Final Wars universe. Until then.